Hello, my friends. Happy Tuesday, everyone. So today, if you haven't already saw the title, we're talking about discipline over motivation. And I've already set up some topics actually that I wanted to talk about this week, and this just happens to be one of them because one of the things that I've been questioning in this new year, right? We are almost a month into 2026, which is crazy. And one of the things that's been on my mind is the concept of discipline because everyone can get excited about doing things when they have motivation, right? Everyone can go to the gym when they're motivated to go work out, right? This is why New Year's resolutions never stick because people create these goals and these New Year's resolutions and they only last for most people 2 to 3 weeks because here's the thing. Discipline fades. Discipline comes and goes. But there's no guarantee that you're always going to feel energized and excited and passionate about something like exercise or whatever it is that you're wanting to stick to when it comes to your goals, right? But what we can rely on is discipline because when we create, this starts with our mindset, right? When we create a strong enough, when we make a decision, then we either rely on our discipline or we're someone who just says, oh yeah, I commit this, I'm going to do this, but I'm only going to do it when I feel good, right? That means that you haven't really made the decision. So I actually want to talk about today the tie or the connection between your discipline and your ability to make a decision. Because this is another thing that has come up for me this new year, because one of the things that I've been battling with, right, is this concept that I feel like I'm so indecisive, right? I identified myself with being indecisive. Hello, TikTok. I'm going live right now, by the way, guys, on multiple platforms. So if you hear me talking to different people, that is why. I'm also going to do my best to answer the questions that you guys have today as well. So right now I'm on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram, and I think one more, Facebook. Yes, Facebook as well. Okay, so just give me a few minutes, guys. I will do some answering of questions, but let me finish my thought here. So like I said, decisions, when they're made and you actually stick to them, it basically means that you burn the boats. That's what a decision is. It means to cut off all other options. So if I make a decision to start going to the gym 3 days a week or 5 days a week, that means that I do it regardless of how I feel. I must show up because I've burned all other options to not do so. Meaning, if the only reason I wouldn't go is if I'm about to die, right? That is the concept that I have been really thinking about and embodying for this new year. If I make a decision, that means that I have to do this regardless of how I feel, right? And I wanted to bring this up because this isn't just something that we do with our health, right? Because we can talk about New Year's resolutions and doing this when it comes to your health and fitness. But what about other parts of your life? What about speaking to yourself in a kinder way? What about implementing gratitude in your life? What about being better in your relationship? What about being better when it comes to your business, or maybe you are in a job right now, whatever it is? How are you going to commit and make a decision and actually stick to that unless we really understand what we're getting ourselves into, right? Let me give you guys an example because I feel like examples and story time makes things fun. I'm going to take a drink of my Vibe because sometimes if I talk too much and I don't drink water or something, then my throat starts to hurt. So, right. So when you're making a decision, I think the most important thing that people need to know is what are you actually getting yourself into? A decision is a commitment. To me, they go hand in hand. I'm going to make a decision or commit to something, right? Whether it's I've decided I'm going to start going to the gym 3 days a week. I have made a commitment. If I'm going to make a decision and a commitment, I need to know what I'm getting myself into. Otherwise, I'm just saying words to look cool either to myself or to other people in my life, but I'm not actually going to follow through. The reason I say this is because I see this so often. I've seen it with myself and I've seen it with people around me. They will commit to things just because they think other people want them to, or it makes them look good, but they don't actually follow through. Guess what this does? It destroys your self-esteem. It destroys your self-trust, because guess what? Now you know that when you say something, you're not going to do it. And that is why, for me, all of these things go hand in hand. Your decisions, your commitments, and your discipline. Because if you make a decision, that means you commit, which means when you're committed to something, you're going to have discipline. You're not just going to show up and do it only when you're motivated. Because a mature person, someone who understands, is going to be able to say, this is what I want, this is what I'm going to do regardless, right? This is a note to myself, guys. So I hope you guys aren't thinking like, oh, she's over here preaching. I'm preaching to myself, and I'm extending this to you because this has been on my mind and something that I know I really need to work on for this new year, because this is essential for us actually reaching a goal and being able to set a goal and trust ourselves to actually follow through with it, right? So let me go ahead and take a few questions, because I know we've had quite a few come in here, just so that you're not feeling like I'm completely ignoring you guys. Hello from YouTube. We have quite a few comments here. Thank you, everyone. Hello, how are you? I'm doing great. Hello from England. Awesome. Alrighty, so that's my YouTube family. For some reason, I don't really know how to check. Let me see if I can check over here. I'm just realizing, my friends, I think I forgot to push live on my Instagram. So I just barely went live on Instagram. I apologize to my friends over on Instagram for those of you who are just joining and you're like, what the heck is she talking about? Because I've been live now for 5 minutes and you guys are like, what the heck? So we're talking about discipline and motivation. Right now I'm taking some questions. Let me go ahead and switch over to TikTok now, because right now we don't have any questions yet on Instagram. So what's up, baby? Okay. The sun is very bright. I think I sat in a very bad spot here. Hello, everyone on TikTok. Sorry, guys, just give me a second. I'm over here looking for some questions here. I don't really see many, just people saying hi, hello, how are you? Doing good. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to keep going. Okay, one question here. Do you need to get rid of trauma to not procrastinate? Yes and no. Let me explain this a little bit better. Okie dokie, I think I clicked on the wrong thing. My bad. Okay, give me a second, guys. 1 second. Okay, I need to learn how to use TikTok better because I'm clicking a lot of buttons. So this person just asked, do you have to get rid of trauma in order to not procrastinate? The reason why I said yes and no to this is because the reason why most of us procrastinate, make excuses, don't believe in ourselves, have limiting beliefs is because of some sort of trauma that we've had in our life. And most people think, when they think of traumas, they think of something crazy that's happened to them, like whether it's emotional, sexual, or even physical abuse. But any trauma can be something even smaller than that. Like someone said something rude to you in school and you took it personally and now it's part of your belief, right? Maybe someone told you that you were a loser and you're like, oh man, oh my gosh, my friend told me I was a loser and now you believe it, right? That can be a trauma. It can be a traumatic experience because now it's negatively impacting your life because you chose to believe that. When we procrastinate, basically what you're doing is you're putting something off. Whenever procrastination comes up for me personally, I like to ask myself questions. For example, what am I afraid of? What am I really avoiding here? Because if you are let's say, for example, avoiding eating healthier, or maybe you're avoiding going to the gym or exercising. Why are you actually avoiding that? Because I can guarantee you there's something underneath that that's the real reason why you're not doing it. It's a belief system. It's probably something like, I don't want to do this because it's going to be hard, right? Exercise is hard. I don't want to commit to this because if I commit to this, then I'm going to have to do something that I don't want to do, right? There's so many things that this could be, but the reason why you have to ask the question is because every single one of us is going to have our own story of why we choose to procrastinate or make excuses and basically not show up and not take action, right? So that is why for me, self-reflection always comes down to, what am I going to do to, what questions can I ask myself so that I know why I'm holding myself back? And then once you figure that out, then of course you have to then change it and take action, because if you don't take action on it, then you're going to stay the same, right? If we're going to just make the same decisions again and again, you're shaking the table, then you're going to get the same result, right? Okie dokie. So I had to reset my TikTok. Hello, everyone who's joining on TikTok. Because I clicked the wrong button and I had a bunch of people that were trying to join me. So anyways, we're back again. So great question. Thank you guys for asking. How do you know if you're scared of failure or scared to be seen? Well, you're the only one that's going to be able to answer that question. Ask yourself, what are you afraid of? Are you scared to be seen? You don't like when there's a lot of attention on you. You feel uncomfortable when people start to give you praise or even say negative things about you, right? What does that mean to be scared to be seen, right? Because that could go even deeper. What are you afraid is going to happen if people see you? For most people, it's that they're going to be judged, that people are going to see them differently, judge them. But ultimately, pretty much every single fear goes back to being afraid of death. Is literally it. So if you can get down to the reason why you believe that, then you can let it go, because you know it's not actually true. That's ultimately the goal with questioning, is questioning your mind, your thoughts, so that you get to the root of why you believe it. And now it doesn't have to be a belief, because you can change it. A thought is literally going to turn into a belief when you repeat it. So if I decide to think I'm a loser, yeah, you're going to believe you're a loser. But I can also shift that, tell a different story. I'm a winner. I'm going to show up as a winner. Now, when I repeat that enough, my brain is going to accept that as truth. So this is like the same topic that we touched on yesterday, which is belief systems. If you believe that basically whatever your thoughts are, whatever the story is going on inside your mind, you repeat it enough, it's going to become true, for the best or for the worst. So going back to the topic that we were discussing today about discipline versus motivation, is basically, this is something, like I told you guys, that I'm personally going through right now, and I'm learning more about what this really means, because when you get comfortable in your life, and all of us have these phases because we go through processes and it's completely normal, right? Let's say you get in a new job and you're making a certain amount of income that's comfortable for you, but you're not really happy there. I'm sure many of you guys can relate with this. You're making $3,000 a month, right? You can get by, you can live, but you're not happy because you're not able to actually live the life that you want to live or the lifestyle that you want, but you're okay. So you're comfortable. This is the most dangerous place to be, because most people are not going to be willing to sacrifice their comfort zone and take a risk in order to pursue their dream. This is the sad truth. I know this so well because I personally am in a place right now where there really is no reason for me to be doing business per se. I don't need to make any more money because I'm okay, right? I don't have to go to the gym every single day because I'm already fit, I'm already in a good place with my body, right? So what is it going to take for me, or for any of you guys who are comfortable, you're okay where you are, to actually move the needle forward and actually push yourself toward your next desire, your next goal. That is where discipline must come in. Because I can tell you right now, if we don't make a decision and have the discipline to show up even when you don't want to, nothing's going to change. And like I said, your comfort zone is a dangerous place because your body, your mind, your biology is literally designed to keep you safe. Everything about who you are and how you are is designed to keep you, basically help you survive. It really doesn't care about if you're rich. It doesn't care if you have a good relationship. The only thing it wants for you is survival. And so if you are focused on basically like, oh, okay, I want to go to the next level. I want to make more money. And your body is actually safe and comfortable doing less and maybe making less because that's maybe what you grew up around. Maybe that's what you're familiar with. Your body says, yeah, no. You may consciously want to be richer. You may consciously want more money, but that doesn't matter because your body says no. No, this isn't happening. So that's where, once again, you have to go back in and change your subconscious beliefs because nothing's going to happen until you change that. And that is why you have to become aware of what is driving your behaviors, because nothing is going to change until you become aware of that. And this has been, like I said, a really big wake-up call for me, because going into this new year, I do still have a lot of goals, but it's been extremely challenging for me to break out of my comfort zone, because when things get easier, it's harder for you to create that discipline because you don't have to, right? You don't need to. You're okay now. Nobody talks about what happens when you're good. Now what you gonna do? When you have the money, you have the relationship, you have the health, everything's going good, you don't really have to take any more action. Now what? The only thing that's really going to drive that discipline forward is if you want it bad enough, right? Which is most of the time driven by pain, or you learn about your mind and you learn how to hack your own brain so that you can learn how to take action and create enough discipline that's going to come from hopefully self-love instead of self-hate or fear, right? To be able to move toward the thing that you want, right? When? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, and today's going to be a short live for me, guys. I just want to close by saying, because I've been wanting to go live. I shouldn't even say been wanting. I'm going live every single day. What I cannot do is promise you guys a specific time because my schedule is crazy right now. I have a lot of stuff going on, and because everything, meetings and all this stuff is scheduled throughout the day at crazy times, I will be back on here to talk with you guys again tomorrow. And I wanted to discuss a lot of different things about cool stuff that I've been working on that I want to extend to you guys. One of those things many of you guys already know, Vibe, is something that I've been working on a lot recently. Of course, I'm the co-founder of Vibe. For those of you who don't know, we also have been working on another project called the Non-Negotiable University. This one is specifically incredible for, I really wanted to share this more with my TikTok community because this is something that regardless of where you live in the world is going to benefit you because it's a digital product. And like I said, I will be sharing more about this later because Vibe right now is live in US, Mexico, Costa Rica, and Puerto Rico. So yes, I'm not able to ship this around the world. And a lot of people have been asking me for it. And right now we can't do that. So we do have another opportunity for people who basically can't get their hands on the product to still have opportunity and still be able to be in a place where they can enjoy the benefits of personal growth, learning about health, learning about finances and all, the business and all that stuff. And then also having the ability to monetize off of that. So I'm going to go ahead and close off here. I'm going to leave my TikTok open for a moment. And yeah, guys, because I got to run. I got some other stuff I got to do today, but thank you guys so much for joining in today. My message today, of course, is Understand that discipline will always win over motivation. We can't just rely on feeling happy and good and energized all the time, because your comfort zone is going to win. Your fear is going to win. So in order to get past that, we have to understand the mind, the beliefs is what's going to give us freedom. So anyways, guys, have a great rest of your Tuesday, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.